Here we are in game 2 of OG up against Team Spirit in this elimination bracket game in the lower bracket. Team Spirit successfully won game 1 and now on the precipice of pushing 2-time back-to-back winners OG out of TR10. And so far the draft looks pretty similar to game 1. OG once again banned the Mars and the Tide, allowing the Magnus and the Wyvern to come through. Now I was saying at the end of game 1 that honestly thought that perhaps you ban the Mag and let the Mars through, because I mean you can deal with the Mars. At least he's not pushing your core, 1,200 units away from the rest of your team. So I'm a little concerned about this collapse Magnus again, because that was pretty much solo carried that game for that game 1 for Team Spirit. I mean, yeah, he wasn't doing all the damage, but he was the one making the plays. I mean, so far we have an identical draft to game 1. The Lion comes out on Team Spirit as well. Just looking at the bans, Team Spirit have got rid of the Monkey King and the IO. Elder Titan obviously as well being taken out of the pool.
10 seconds.
And Morphling and Clockwork will be taken. So actually, we can't have an identical draft to game 1 because the Ember's been taken out inside of OG and the Clock's been taken out from Team Spirit. So OG identifying that Ember was actually the problem in that game 1. They didn't think it was the Mag. They thought it was the Ember that was causing the problems. And Team Spirit similarly decided that Sark's Clock was actually the one that caused them the most problems to deal with. Okay, so we have a Night Stalker for Seb and the Invoker for Thompson. So right now we are going for comfort picks. We're going for what you are going to be able to play confidently on side of OG.
10 seconds remain. 5 seconds.
So the last pick from Team Spirit before we go into the final ban phase. They do have 1 minute and 5 in reserve time. And so OG are still most... Ooh. I mean, I seriously doubt they're going to last pick Sark's hero, but they could do. I mean, it's pretty obvious that Seb's going to be playing the Night Stalker. Invoker will be played by Thompson. It's just whether this Tiny is going to be played by Sark's or whether it'll still be the POS 1.
Radiance turn to battle.
Void incarnate.
So Toronto Tokyo going from the Ember Spirit to the Void Spirit. Still wanting to play that high tempo game. We'll probably find it a little bit harder to get that momentum going. Similar to how Thompson found it a little bit harder to gain that momentum in game 1.
5 seconds.
So this ban from Team Spirit is going to reveal what they think this Tiny is. Right now I'm leaning towards a 4 Tiny on Saksa, with Sumail's last pick POS 1 coming out.
It is Radiance man.
No, they actually think that the Sumail's going to be playing Tiny, and they ban the Willow, which is one of Saksa's more popular heroes.
It is Dire's man.
And the Void and Ursa banned out so that Yatoro won't be able to play those. Void obviously offering a lot of control in that last fight, and the ability to time walk off all the burst is pretty powerful as well.
Remain.
I would have been tempted to leave the Void in the pool,
5 seconds remain.
knowing that you're now having a Night Stalker to play with. The AoE silence on top of the Void is very, very powerful. And Skywrath is the last band. So, OG, time to show your hand. Is this a Sumail Tiny?
Earth Shaker.
And it will be. So Sarks are going to be playing the Earthshaker, and so we're just looking for a Yatoro last pick. Control is still available. So that played by EG yesterday, but it wasn't to great effect. They lost with it. Lifestealer. So, Lifestealer does suffer somewhat from the same issue as the Faceless Void would against the Night Stalker, in that his innate way of surviving is using that rage. But unlike the Faceless Void, the Lifestealer can probably just turn around on an early game Night Stalker and just hit him, and get the Feast and the Ghoul Frenzy going, and just survive that way. Wait for the silence to run out. It's probably what they were thinking there with the Yatoro Lifestealer. I mean, Thompson normally goes for this support-ish invoker, the utility core, as Bulldog might call it. You know, Urn, Vessel, Yules, Glimmer, even sometimes. It becomes a very supporty sort of hero, and it is to enable this OG's Tiny, played by Sumail. But I'm just concerned that we're going to have the same problem as we did last game. What is going to stop Collapse from just horn tossing and skewering the one win condition of this team out of the fight? What's going to stop him? And I mean with the Lifestealer as well, sort of a somewhat natural counter to the Tiny. I don't want to say a counter. I want to say it's not bad against, you know, with the strength, the high HP, you get the feast percentage, you know, it's a little bit better. Remember to stay hydrated. Okay.
A rolling stone.
Что вы от меня хотите?
You talking to me?
Oh, OG coming out with the voice lines. Immediate smoke coming out from Team Spirit.
Look out for fallen rocks.
Thompson actually might get caught here. He's got the quaz balls up. Out comes the shockwave. We'll pull him back in, and so will Toronto Tokyo with the Ether Remnant.
First blood, the first celestial rain.
And Thompson just a little slow to get to that high ground to break the smoke. So there will be a ward dropped by Team Spirit covering the river bottom and on the river top. OG's Obs actually taken down by Yatoro as well. So have OG actually got any Obs left? Saksa is still holding on to an Obs. Actually, my mistake. just as use the Winter's Curse. They're actually chasing. They have the Ghoul Frenzy. Sucks are having to run away. And they will actually get that other bounty. My mistake. It's actually Seb playing the Earthshaker, and it's going to be 4 played by Saxa. So them heading to the top lane. Yatoro and Miposhka on the Lifestealer and the Winter Wyvern respectively will be in the safe lane for Team Spirit. Mid lane, Toronto Tokyo on the Void Spirit up against Thompson being played by the Invoker. Invoker being played by Thompson. Bottom lane, No Tail on his 5 Nature's Prophet, looking to try and secure the lane with these Trance. With Samael on the Tiny once again, the pos 1 against Collapse on the Magnus and Mira on the line. Of course, this is the exact same lane that we saw in Game 1. No difference at all in this lane. Of course, the other 2 lanes are completely different heroes, apart from the Boschka on this Wyvern, but this bottom lane is the same. So Saxa on this 4 Night Stalker is probably going to be looking for perhaps, will he go for the Spirit Vessel? I'm not so sure. Or whether Thompson still wants to get that. Just not sure where a 4 Night Stalker tends to fit in. I mean, he's just smacking Miposhka at the moment with the right clicks in the Void, but not really doing a whole hit. Yatoro is just going to turn around and hit him. I mean, I was a little bit sold on the core Night Stalker to try and sort of silence this Yatoro and get on top of him. Maybe that's still the plan. Saxa's in trouble right now. Seb's trying to get the Enchant Totem, but that will not be enough. No level in Fissure yet, just with the Enchant Totem. Top lane, No Tail, bottom lane, No Tail actually goes down in the midst of that as well. No Tail with the TP will come immediately back in. Of course, yeah, it's literally called teleportation.
Uproot and after that.
Saxa still hanging on to this Observer Ward, so they might just scout that out on him and know where he might drop it down. Miposhka, with no stats to speak of, just the consumables and the wand, will just keep Saxa in check. I mean, the early game is not going as well as it did for OG last time. They just had a little bit of a net worth lead last game. This time, Team Spirit just taking the early lead, and they do have slightly weaker lanes in this game, OG. Looking for a bit better mid-game timing. I mean, Miposhka on this Winter Wyvern is dealing a lot of damage to these Strength Heroes top with the percentage base from the Arctic Burn. It's dealing serious damage. Seb still with some tangos, but did chunk him down significantly. Mira looking to try and interrupt this pull, but won't be able to stop it. No Tail actually will just punch him. A lot of base damage on No Tail, 58 over to 53 on Lion. You get a little bit of XP, a little bit of farm here over on No Tail. Work towards his first item. Top lane, this is just being a bit of a disaster for OG right now. This 4 Night Stalker. Not really going well to begin with. Tips coming out bottom. Not quite sure what that was for. So Seb's going to be looking for a timing on a Blink Dagger and then on the Ags to try and be very mobile and deal a lot of damage in the fights. But that will be a long way away. Is maxing out the Totem and the Aftershock. No levels in the Fissure yet, as you would expect in a core Earthshaker. Saxa looking to drop Ward. Ward will rarely get sentryed, so unless it's easily and obviously given away. Mid lane, Thompson and Toronto Tokyo pretty much even on the last hits and denies, so no real difference there. Safe lanes are on the even side of things as well. So across the map, cores are getting what they want. In fact, 22 to 22 on the offlaners as well, Collapse and Seb. So Everyone is farming, even though there are 4 kills up on Team Spirit. Less than a 1k net worth lead still, so early kills in Dota don't necessarily mean a whole lot. Just giving small advantages at this point. Yatora is sitting very calmly in this lane. He's even holding a skill point if he needs it for the rage. I seriously doubt he will. Middle lane, Toronto Tokyo just getting out with the dissimulate. It is nighttime, so this level, this POS 4 Nature's POS 4 Night Stalker can do a little bit, but only level 100 in the night, so can sort of run around between lanes, but not really do a whole lot. Toronto Tokyo can't really get ganked to middle. If you're going to make a move bottom, you're going to need some more levels over on this Sumail Tiny. Saksa coming in, he does have a level in the Crippling Fear. We'll get the silence, but he's just going to run him away, and that's it. I mean, I want to see the plan for this for Night Stalker. Has he queued up any items yet? No, he's going for the phase boots. I want to know what the plan is. It nags? Is it just playing with a blink dagger perhaps to get the AoE silence over onto Yutaro, so that he has to buy some sort of BKB himself? Yutaro actually getting the level in rage, playing it safe, not going for the maxed out passives. I mean, I think it is always smart to get that one level. You do have a mana pool for a reason. So get that value level in case you need to TP out or whatnot. Saksa still level 3. This Yutaro is level 6. He does have Infest available, but it's not quick enough. He rages away. And that's it. Middle lane, Thompson getting caught by the Remnant, but will get the EMP and the Cyclone out. Toronto Tokyo getting up on the high ground and body blocking, so Maposh can try and catch up. Thompson will be just fine and heal back up with those cause orbs easily under the tower. Sumail looking for that early Oblivion Staff into Echo Saber again, so his build's going to be very similar. Seb now with the level 1 in the fissure. I'm guessing we'll try and grab the level 6 ulti. Mid lane, Saksa with the silence, trying to catch Toronto Tokyo. He doesn't have another Astral Step, but he won't need it. The Quelling Blade will come out. Thompson, DD going over to Toronto Tokyo, and they can't actually contest that. Mirror's here, Hex comes out, Astral Step through, DD popped, Void, to slow him down, he will get out of it, but who's actually been caught here? Thompson and No-Tail. Toronto Tokyo just turn around on you. Yeah, sure, Saksa lives on this Night Stalker, but he has to go to base, and the tower is now under serious pressure with the DD popped on the Void Spirit. I want to see, do we have a catapult coming? No, we don't. Yeah, Saksa. It doesn't matter if you got the silence out, because this guy just Astral Stepped you with the DD, so... that is that. Toronto Tokyo just waiting for the rune spawn in a couple of seconds. It won't get the tower, but the significant damage did come out. Thompson with the EMP. Stun follow-up from Seb. Has enough to dissimulate to the low ground. Echo Slam coming through. Saksa will have the AoE silence, which he'll use, timing it right, and No-Tail will get the last hit. No-Tail feeling the rat-tat-tat-tat-tars. OG need to activate. OG need to pump up. They need to get the voice lines going. They need to start playing the mental game, because this is what's won them 2 TIs. You know, I don't think anyone would actually agree that OG were the most mechanically talented players in those 2-1 TIs. Sure, they're not bad, but I don't think they were the most mechanically talented. What they had going was they just played their opponents. They played on their insecurities, on their mind. And it just stopped them from doing anything they wanted them to do. That's what OG have to get back into here. They have to play with the mind of team spirit. Collapse. Don't blink dagger yet. It is daytime. Haste on Saxa though in the day. Does look a little bit like the nighttime Night Stalker flying around, but his haste has run out. Top lane, Seb and Yatoro are still just going at it. Level 3 Aftershock. Ghoul Frenzy, maxed out of course. The attack speed, much better for farming on the Lifestealer. Really only need the 1 or 2 levels in the Feast to sustain in the lane, and then once you move into the jungle, so you won't look to probably level that out first. You do want to get that Ghoul Frenzy. Catapult bottom is hitting Saxa, wants to try and slow it up, but RP comes out with the finger, and Saxa will immediately go down. Those 2 ultimates used. Yatoro wants this tower though. Coming in, the catapult will get glyphed. Smoke up. They want to catch Samael coming across. They know he's here. Mira with the stun. Maposhka does have the curse at level 6. Hex coming out. Collapse getting caught by Notal on the other side. Samael, what are you going to do? Tosses over to the neutral creeps. Curse. But there's no one in range. Darkness coming out on Saxa. He does have the level 6. AoE Silence coming through. Tops him with the Deafening Blast. Ice Wall down in the middle of the fight. Trying to control him up. Disarmed on Toronto Tokyo. He's trying to Astral Step back out. Saxa flying up over the fight. With the additional damage and movement speed from the Darkness. Notal into the middle of the fight. It's the bunker strat. He's inside the trees. Collapse. Skewering through, but Echo comes out. Follow up with the EMP Tornado. Yutaro back in with the Rage. He's hitting. But Infest into the creep. Will avoid that cold snap damage. He's going to come back out onto Samael. Toss over towards Mira. Mira will live for a little bit longer. Notal with the Nature's Treants will block Yutaro from moving forwards. Zeb though, he's still going. Thompson is still involved. But Thompson, have you gone a little too far? Mira's here on the backside. One more hit. No. Notal actually throws his body at the opponents to keep Thompson alive. And they know where he is. They have a very good idea where he is. He's TPing. Yutoro just went the other way. I think they caught a glimpse of Sasuke first, and that was enough to make him change direction instead of checking this corner. Sunstrike just trying to claim Mira, but the Sunstrike doesn't get him. Actually, the Nature's Wrath gets him, and the tips, no tips, just the voice lines coming out on the side of OG. Notal feeling pretty good about that one. And that should actually start moving him fairly quickly towards the Soul. Actually, that kill, 2 gold from the Solar Crest, he will have it.
Tower is under attack.
Samael now with the Craggy, with the chipped vest, not Craggy vest. I had a momentary flashback to days gone by. With the chipped vest and the Echo Saber will start to increase his farm, level 10 strength talent. Seb is in with the Blink Dagger, the Fissure follow up, giving the vision from the Sprout. Sunstrike. Thompson. I mean, right now, OG are just getting rolling. That Nature's Wrath killed bottom, that Sunstrike killed top. That's the sort of thing that's going to make these guys start smiling in the booths. And Team Spirit have to be careful. They want to hit back immediately. Out comes the Hex and the stun. Yatoro's going to hit. They have the finger. The Sentry is down, and it won't be enough for him to get away with the use of the Cyclone. OG trying to make some sort of move top against Toronto Tokyo. They have the Echo with the blink. But they will be spotted out. Creeps will be dragged away from the tower. And that movement will be put to bed. Saxa mid does have the darkness, and it is nighttime in 20 odd seconds. 2 ults on Saxa ready to play, so just holding them for the moment, waiting to use them perhaps at nighttime. Get maximum use out of that night duration. But here is a problem. Yatoro has got
Radiant's bottom tower is
the Empower, and he's now farming a lot quicker than he should be without a Magnus on his team. Look at this. He's just cleaning through the camps with the Empower enables the POS 1 for Team Spirit to pick something that would not normally farm fast. Something that's maybe single target orientated. Atos coming out from Thompson. Tornado to follow up. AoE silence. Fissure coming through from Seb. He's still holding onto the blink and the echo. It will get cancelled for 3 seconds. Arctic Burn ticking down, stopping any further initiation from Seb. But Darkness is coming out from Saxa. They want to find more. Echo, 2 men on the middle of the fight. Poshka using the Winter's Curse over onto Saxa. Collapse following up with the RP. Seb will get a couple more spells off, but it won't be enough. No Tail hitting from the side. Thompson with another Tornado. And an EMP on top of Toronto Tokyo, but he will Astral Step away. Sumail has joined the fight. But this isn't a big strong Sumail yet. He hasn't got enough damage. And he will go down. This Yatoro Lifestealer is just going to eat him alive. And OG just overplayed their hand a little bit there. That sort of movement there, it reminds me of the games I've watched with PSG LGD where they tried to make a movement here and it didn't work out. And instead of just resetting, looks like Thompson may get a solo kill here. No. Maybe he will. One more hit. He will get it. With the DD it will be enough. Cyclone MP coming out. Actually Mira, you're in the wrong neighborhood. Seb will come through. And Collapse trying to secure the safety. Zarks is here. He does have the no silence in 12. Follow up. Oh, just missed timing on the stun. Toronto Tokyo, he's still in problems. But Yatoro, he's just going to work. They don't have anything to stop him right now. Tiny is not large enough to threaten him physically. Now, OG, they just pushed the envelope a little bit with that play here before, popping the Darkness when really the play probably wasn't on. Chase beyond the tier 1, looking for something that wasn't being offered to them. And that's where LGD, probably one of the favourites for this tournament, have really excelled. They haven't made a play that is out of their reach. Sarks are being caught by the Yules. Simulate will follow up, stun from Mira, and he will go down. Thompson with the Yules though, coming in. Winter's Curse. The Forge Spirit's actually here. That's making the curse last longer. Hex will follow up with the stun, and Thompson will go down. Yatoro's tipping over onto No Tail. Obviously something happening bottom. See, Thompson realizes that he needs to continue to play on the map actively. Without him actively playing on the map, Sumail is not going to be given the space to continue to build this farm. Now the issue is, compared to last game, where OG were ahead at this point, they're now behind, and they still have a Magnus on Team Spirit. And unless OG are going to drastically change how they're playing the team fights, and they're going to have to if they have any chance, this Collapse Mag is just going to do the same thing. He's got the blink, leveling up the skewer now. We're closing in on skewer cooldown and skewer range. And as far as OG are concerned, they don't have an answer for this Lifestealer. And he's just getting bigger and bigger. Tiny's still at level 20, so without the shard, I wonder is he saving for it? No, he wants to get the BKB. He's not saving for it. Smoke is coming out. Toronto Tokyo leading the way. They might just catch some mail here. He does have the Shadow Blade. It is night time, and Sarkson is sitting on the Darkness. They're actually looking to go in. They get the silence on Yatoro. Will they have the follow-up? Stun, the toss, the fissure, the echo slam. Oh, they get him! The RP comes in too late. Ice Wall on top of Collapse. Winter's Curse will come out on all of OG. Over on the side, Thompson has gone invisible, but they have the vision with the Spirit Vessel. But Sumail's arrived, getting the follow-up onto Toronto Tokyo. They don't yet have the burst. Sumail's still trying to hit. No Tail hitting from the side. But they're getting a little bit outnumbered. Seb is trying to get Collapse on the back line, and Sumail will go down. Notal now walking in as well, but he doesn't have much more to offer. Wrath of Nature is on cooldown, and Seb is the only one left alive. He is going to blink and TP. The Yules will catch him. Into the other Remnant, the Resonant Pulse, and he will go down. Easy game! Coming out from Toronto, Tokyo! Oh my goodness. Easy game. In a pro match, Toronto, Tokyo with the disrespect. I mean, that's almost fine level with that sort of comment during a game. So we'll have to wait to see what the result of this match is. But if Team Spirit do progress, it will be interesting to see what happens, if anything, consequences for Toronto Tokyo moving forward. If there is some sort of match fine applied. I mean, you know, the voice lines are in the game and can be used by the pro players, but to type out easy game after a one team fight, only 21 minutes in, I mean, that even at the end of a game would be considered a little bit of BM. So, I actually think it's not actually a smart play from Toronto Tokyo to do that, because if anything, that's just gonna rev OG up. They're just gonna get, like, you know, Super Saiyan from that. They're just gonna power up. They're gonna power up and get stronger from some sort of comment like that. So, I actually be interested to see. I feel like OG are actually now going to turn this game around because of that comment from Toronto Tokyo. Toronto Tokyo in with the DD, catching Thompson. He will get full staffed away, but he will get bursted down from the second astral step. Notail is in a bad situation as well. He's just trying to buy as much time as he can, going back the opposite direction. But there is now a basher on lifesteal. That was darkness popped from Saksa. And they're going to catch him as well. They have wards up on this high ground. And that Saksa gone too. So darkness used and to no avail. Seb did go for the Force Staff, isn't actually going for the Ags this game. I'm a little disappointed with that build. I think the Ags probably had a little bit more potential. He needs to be able to move around and make an impact in this team fight. He needs to be more than just an Echo Slam. You saw what happened in that last fight bottom here. He echoed, they did get the kill on Yatoro, but then that was it. They needed more. They needed him jumping around, just pressuring the other supports on the side of Team Spirit. And with the current build, he's looking to head into... he's committed for it as well. He's grabbed the Void Stone. I'm trying to figure out why he would want to go for this Ether Lens over the more meta build of the Ags. You can cast Fissure from a longer range, but... is that really just to get the Initiate over on to Yatoro? I feel like the Ags could just do it similarly and you just jump in. And you're right on top of them to cast the Fissure. And OG, they're being collapsed upon. Sumail's being caught, skewered back. Yatoro's on top of him with the Basher. And Sumail will have no chance at all. OG are going to scatter to the winds. Or are they? No, they are TPing. Actually, Notail is going to get caught. RP will be actually committed. So no RP for 126. Seb is still here. He has... Collapse is looking. He knows he's here. Seb, why are you still hanging around? And they're going to TP in another. Yatoro's here, but Boschka's come across. And they tip Collapse because he fished out two. He found Notail, and then he found Seb in the trees. How did they know? How did they know? I guess they didn't see Seb on the map anywhere else, and they did see them bottom. I mean, Seb is obviously sitting there to try and just push the lane a little bit. They know they don't really want to fight Team Spirit at the moment because obviously the Aegis is up on Yatora, and the only way they can possibly take a fight is by bursting him down. So if they use everything and he has the Aegis, there's just absolutely nothing they can do. So they need to just buy a little bit of time. And he's sitting here wanting to maybe cut the wave once he sees a few heroes moving around the map. So he's just trying to buy time. But Collapse just fishes him out. Thompson has gone into the Gleipnir. So a little bit more control. He wants to BKB next. It is to be noted that Thompson does not have a Midas. And typically Invokers, to continue to remain relevant later on into the game, pick up that Midas just to keep their farm and XP heading northward. But Thompson, he is a little underleveled, level 15. A little bit lower on the farm than perhaps he wants. But he does have the Gleipnir now, whereas the Midas would be a longer term investment. Seb does have the Ether Lens, and now he's looking to go into Boots of Travel. No, he changes up BKB. No tail, pretty much same build as last game with just the straight solar crest, wanting to buff up Samael on the Tiny.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And Seb potentially thinking of moving into the Octarine core at some point in this game, so the Ether Lens is a natural build to that.
You talking to me?
And obviously does fix any mana issues that he does have. Greater Treants are out on No-Tail, so they will just die. There's a blink on Night Stalker. We'll try and catch with AoE signs. Toronto Tokyo, no BKB, and doesn't look like he's heading to get one at any point. He blinks in, jumps in though, with the Yules and the Remnant. He's going to catch him. Seb has to force Staff away, and he's going to TP, and he'll make it out. But bottom lane, meanwhile, Thompson goes down. He does buy back. Saxa is in the middle of the fight. That was Darkness used. And now what's he going to do? He has got a buyback, but no Darkness. I mean, Darkness actually is still active, interestingly. Interesting to see if he still has the flying and bonus attack damage. Aegis for 45 on Yatora. They don't really want to fight this guy with the Aegis. They just want to delay as much as they can. Forge Spirit gets one hit off, one minus armor, and it's now gone. Smells slowing down with the Avalanche. This is OG's TI-10 tournament life at stake right now. Team Spirit, they've been hot this tournament through the group stage. They had a tough game in the upper bracket, but they have remained strong to their form.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And what are OG to do? They have lost their melee racks. There won't be an Aegis. That will be reclaimed. But bottom lane, who's going in on who? It looks like Sux has actually been caught on the Night Stalker. Shockwave going to come through. Gleipnir just going to hold him for a little bit. This is looking dangerous for OG. Seb is trying to hide in the trees. I think they see him. It's dangerous. Samael's gone in with the BKB. Buyback from Saxa. No, Samael's getting bashed up. He's getting bashed up through the BKB. Seb gets caught as well. He has to buy back. The big RP coming out. There's an Echo. Seb, does he have enough? They're slowly going down, but there's too much HP on the side of Team Spirit. The dieback over onto Seb. Yutaro is still on full HP. Saxa, he's down as well, and it's just No-Tail. He's running back to the base. Yutaro, is he just going in? Terminology is dropped here. I mean, if you're Team Spirit, I think you're just going throne. Yeah, and they are. They know it. They know that they're down for 31 seconds, and there are no buybacks left on the side of OG. This is it. OG are going to be eliminated from TI-10. There is going to be no 3-time TI winner, no 3-time back-to-back. It will open the door for another team to make their own plays, but Yutaro, he's got the spider legs. He's on to the base. No-Tail, he's fighting to the end. He does have another sprout in a moment, but this is GG. Good luck coming out from the No-Tail. Nature's Prophet, and Team Spirit have knocked out the reigning champions. So we will have a new TI champion crowned this year for the first time actually in 3 years.